All right. So, today was the second day of Jonathan Major's trial and the last one of the week. So, let's just get into what happened. So, at 10:48 a.m., to paraphrase former Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld, some significant known unknowns emerged today in Jonathan Major's domestic violence trial. As jury selection continued Thursday in a Manhattan courtroom, the judge in the Loki actor's misdemeanor criminal trial for assault and harassment is bringing some matters out into the light of day and keeping others far from public eyes. Kicking off the second day of Major's repeatedly delayed trial, Judge Michael Gaffey ruled on Thursday morning that the jury will get to hear that his accuser, Grace Jabbari, was arrested over the same incident. In short order, Judge Gaffey also issued a separate ruling about evidence in the case that was under seal, and he sealed the ruling tight. Dealt a blow, the Office of Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg merely confirmed today it was a sealed decision. Sources have told Deadline that the sealed documents at issue contain information on potential past incidents involving the actor both in the U.S. and the U.K. Entering a plea of not guilty months ago over the March incident, Majors faces up to a year behind bars if convicted. Having seen the move by various media organizations to unseal what the judge termed prejudicial and inflammatory evidence defeated, Major's usually very vocal primary lawyer, Priya Chaudhry, had nothing to say on the matter when the court broke for lunch just a short time ago. Worth noting that Chaudhry and co-counsel Seth Zuckerman were smiling at the defense table when the judge made his decisions about what to make public and what to keep sealed. At around 10 a.m. Eastern Time Thursday, the judge booted spectators out of the 100 Center Street courtroom for a second straight day. When Gaffey reopened the courtroom to the press and public about half an hour later, he declared the issue at the heart of the two closed-door hearings this week resolved. And as jury selection from a pool of around 40 people finally began, promised there would be no more lockouts of the public. Present as he was yesterday, Majors, before the break, was facing the jurors, legs crossed, taking notes and watching them as they individually answer questions from the questionnaire, as was the case yesterday. Majors had a Bible on the defense table before him. Earlier, when Judge Gaffey introduced Majors to the jury pool, the actor stood up to face them, clasped his hands near his heart, and gave a short bow in their direction. Majors returned to the courtroom today wearing a wide-brimmed fedora hat over a black button coat and a dark double-breasted suit. His girlfriend, Harlem actress Meagan Good, accompanied him and held his hand as they briefly stepped back out of the courtroom with Major's two lawyers and a man carrying his coat and hat. Now, the reason I groaned at the fact that he wore a fedora is that that's kind of been taken over by incel culture. I mean, my nephew used to wear a fedora, and apparently he found out very quickly how that's perceived and stopped, even though he looks good in a fedora. And I like fedoras. But, yeah, based on the way the world is right now, with incels basically taking over a fedora, While ex-girlfriend Jabbari is a scheduled witness for the DA's office, It is unclear if Majors will take the stand in his own defense. Almost from the day their client was arrested by the NYPD in late March after answering a 911 call and coming to the scene of a noticeably roughed-up Jabari, Major's lawyers have tried to flip the script and make the British national the perpetrator in this case. Despite Chaudhry filing a countersuit against Jabari in June, which led to the police automatically issuing an investigatory card, or I-card, for her, the DA's office has said over and over it would not act on claims that Major's ex-girlfriend was the antagonist in the March 25th incident. And as I mentioned, that if he's truly innocent, he should have no problem taking the stand. Like I said, unless he's really good at self-sabotage, then obviously not. But otherwise, if he has nothing to hide, that should be no problem. Already cooperating with prosecutors, Jabari turned herself in late on October 25th at the NYPD's 10th Precinct in Manhattan. Within hours, the DA's office put out a statement saying it had officially declined to prosecute the case against Grace Jabari because it lacks prosecutorial merit. Still today, Judge Gaffey said the jury will learn about Jabari's arrest last month. This is a situation where I think it is information that should be put out before a jury. He told the assembled lawyers, media, and Majors today. The jury should hear about it. At the same time, Jabari will be allowed to testify, as the prosecutors have asserted that she knew nothing about this warrant for arrest, and that she came and surrendered immediately when she found out she was wanted. The judge stated that prosecutors can cross-examine the NYPD detective who recommended Jabari's arrest. I'm going to give the people full, fair opportunity to cross-examine the detective and his motives, he noted. Once chosen, either today or tomorrow, 6 jurors and 1 alternate will hear the case, though at this rate it is unlikely much will be happening in the matter until next week. The scheduled first day of the trial was spent almost entirely on pre-trial wrangling over what information to make public, with the ruling issued today capping that element of this matter off. Oh God, I can read. Judge Gaffey closed the courtroom to spectators on Wednesday afternoon to let the defense argue behind closed doors that evidence already under seal should be kept out of the case record entirely. Arguments that clearly were persuasive. The Manhattan DA's office has been trying to introduce potential past incidents under a legal standard in New York known as the Molyneux Rule that sometimes allows past uncharged allegations of criminal behavior into a new trial. Molyneux figured prominently in the prosecution of Harvey Weinstein for rape. NYPD officers who responded to the scene on March 25th after Majors himself called 911 found Jabari with bruising, swelling, lacerations, and a broken finger. Majors was arrested and released after a hearing. He remains under a protective order to avoid contact with Jabari. After claims by Majors' defense lawyers of institutional racism among law enforcement fell flat, the actor filed his cross-complaint claiming that, in fact, Jabari initiated the violence. Majors postulated that Jabari became enraged that another woman was texting him as they rode in a car through Lower Manhattan that spring night. Citing text messages between the couple and security camera footage related to the incident, defense lawyer Chaudhry has described her client as the victim of escalating domestic violence by a controlling and abusive partner. Chaudhry also called her client the target of a witch hunt. I really, really wish that people would stop using that term. I really, really do. Chaudhry previously represented Jen Shah of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City in a federal wire fraud case and defended writer-director Paul Haggis in a civil rape case brought under New York's recently expired Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act. I don't know why this is part of this article. Chaudhry said in court on Wednesday that she gathered evidence proving Majors to be the victim in this case, but the DA refused to consider it despite police having called for Jabari's arrest. In another standoff among many in this matter, lead prosecutor Kelly Galloway countered that her office did review the information submitted by Chaudhry. After his arrest in March, Majors was dropped by both. This is about his career becoming completely in tatters. So let's go to what happened after lunch. Alright. This is a much shorter update. So the domestic violence trial of Jonathan Majors has a jury. After several hours today and yesterday whittling the initial pool of 39 down in the Manhattan criminal courtroom, 6 jurors and 2 alternates have been selected. 3 men and 3 women will assess the misdemeanor assault and harassment charges against the Creed III actor. The alternatives are 1 man and 1 woman. The trial will not start tomorrow. Instead, Majors, the lawyers, Judge Michael Gaffey, and the jurors will all be back at 10 a.m. Eastern on December 4th for opening statements. The trial is expected to last 2 weeks. I don't know if I can handle that. If found guilty, Majors could face up to a year behind bars for the March 25th incident against ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari. While the jury and perhaps Majors will not be in court Friday, Judge Gaffey, prosecutors, and the defense team will be. Wait, what? So what we'll do is we'll come in tomorrow morning at 10:30. The judge told the attorneys this afternoon. Any applications that both sides want to make tomorrow, he stated. Oh God, why are my eyes irritated? Promising to rule on those Monday, and we'll deal with any other issues on Friday. So that is that. So there might be an update tomorrow since they're going to be in court without the jury. But since it's all technical matters, I'm guessing that I won't have any updates until Monday. So with that, I will talk to you on Monday. At least when it comes to Jonathan Majors' trial anyway. See you in the next video.